Islamic teachings is purification of the heart. Our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam laid very great emphasis on this aspect of Islamic teachings. If we try to look in our hearts, we try to inquire the state of the world within, we will find that in our hearts there is something wrong and there is something right. For example, inclination towards bad things, inclination towards disobedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is something which is very, very harmful for a Muslim. And inclination towards obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's commands is a very good thing. What are teachings of our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam about the world within, about the world of our hearts? If we keep two Arabic words in front of us, so we can get full concept of teachings of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam on this topic and on this aspect. These two Arabic words are takhliya and tahliya. The first word is with kha and the second word is with ha. Takhliya means to empty, to remove something, to take something out. And tahliya means to adorn. Our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam commanded his ummah to remove, to empty hearts from all bad things and to adorn our hearts with good qualities, good attributes, and good things. Those things which are very, very harmful, they are in our hearts and they cause a very big harm to a Muslim, a very big harm to a human. And our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam commanded to do every possible thing to remove it off from the heart and to take this thing out from the heart is hasad. To understand what hasad is, in English we translate it by envy, we try translate it with jealousy. But what is reality of hasad? To understand it, let me explain in a very, very simple way. You see someone, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed upon him a lot of favors. And he is blessed by a lot of blessings and favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you look at that person, try to inquire the state of your heart. What is going on in it? It may be when you see someone enjoying blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, feelings of your heart are, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him more and more. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala let him enjoy these blessings which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed upon him. The second possibility is, along with it, a person wishes the same thing for himself and he says, or his wish is, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give this person more and the same type of blessings and same types of favors Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants me as well. These two things, when you are wishing good for someone and you are not wishing that this thing should be given to you, or you are wishing something good for any other person and your wish is that the same thing is granted to me as well, this is something which is appreciated in Islam. And the word for this state of heart is ghibata, and another Arabic word is tanafus. When you see someone having different types of blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you wish for him more barakah, more blessings, you don't wish that this thing should be removed from him, this should be taken from him. So this state of heart is something good, and this state is appreciated in Islam. As for wishing good for any other, this is 100% appreciated, and our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in hadith said, "Ad-deenun nasiha." Deen is name of sincerity, and the same word some of the ulama have translated by well-wishing. As for wishing the same thing for ourselves, there is some detail in it. If it is something good for benefit of a person in this world and in the hereafter, then wishing for it is appreciated in Islam. But if something is beneficial for a person in this worldly life only, and it is not beneficial for a person in the hereafter, then it may be in the category of lawful, and it may be in the category of appreciated by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when you will be looking at favors given to someone and you are inquiring state of your heart, this was one thing. And the second thing may be when you look at someone whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed with different types of blessings, there is a feeling in your heart that this person should be deprived of it. This blessing should be taken away from it. This blessing shouldn't be anymore with this person. You wish for someone to be deprived of a blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And sometimes you may add with it another wish, and that wish is this thing should be taken away from him and it should be given to me. These last two things, when you wish that any blessing with someone shouldn't be with him, it should be taken away from him, this is reality of hasad. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Holy Quran and his Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam in his ahadith has declared hasad to be haram, unlawful. There are different reasons for unlawfulness, for hurmat of hasad, according to teachings of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam. One thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Holy Quran, La tatamannaw ma faddalallahu bihi ba'dakum ala ba'd. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that wish not for the things in which Allah has made some of you excel others. Obviously, this is in that case when someone is wishing that someone should be deprived of any blessing which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed upon him. But if we wish to have the same thing which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to anyone else, with the dua, with the feeling that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala let him enjoy, so then according to teachings of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there is no harm in it. Before going ahead, another thing is coming in my mind. The word hasad in hadith of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is sometimes used in the meaning of ghibata and in the meaning of tanafus. And in the word hasad is used, Arabic word, but it is in the meaning of wishing to have something good which is with anyone else, without any wish that that person is deprived of it. For example, there is a hadith in Sahih Bukhari Sharif, Kitab al-Ilm, and the chapter is Babul Ightibati fil Ilmi wal Hikmah. Igtibat, this Arabic word is to wish to be like someone. In this hadith, Hazrat Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiallahu ta'ala, one of companions of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, reported this hadith. He says, the beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, La hasada illa fisnatayn. There is no hasad but in two cases. And these two cases are Rajulun atahu Allahu malan fasullita ala halakatihi fil haqq. A person, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed upon him with a lot of wealth and has given the ability, has given the tawfiq to spend it in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the second, Rajulun atahu Allahu al-hikmata fahuwa yaqdi biha wa yu'allimuha. And a person whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given wisdom by which he makes decisions, makes judgments, and he teaches it to others. So the word hasad is used here, but this is in the meaning of ghibta and in meaning of tanafus. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has declared envy or hasad as haram, and his Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam has declared it as haram. There are a lot of reasons behind it. I'm mentioning only some of them. Number one, the person who is hasid, envier, is not happy with the taqdeer of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He wishes that the decision of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should be changed according to his wish. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed upon someone with some favor, and this person is wishing that this favor shouldn't be with this person. So it means this person is showing his dislikeness about taqdeer of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In other words, you can say that he is raising objection on the decision of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about that person. In the hadith of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam, there is the hadith in Sahih Muslim, Kitabul Birri Wasilati wal Adab. This is book of righteousness, book of joining ties of relationship, and book of manners. These masail are discussed in these hadiths which are in this book. And the chapter is Babu Nahji Anit Tahasudi Wat Tabaguzi Wat Tadabur. Hadith number is 2559 in Sahih Muslim. Hazrat Anas radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he reports that the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam said, La tahasadu wa la tabagadu wa la taqata'u wa kunu ibadallahi ikhwana. Our beloved Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam commanded, don't be jealous of each other. Wa la tabagadu, don't hate each other. Wala taqata'u, don't cut your relation with each other. Wakunu ibadallahi ikhwana, and be slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, brothers. When we look at consequences of hasad, very easily we can understand that a person who is doing hasad from someone, he is falling in a lot of sins. A lot of sins are committed only by one thing, which is called hasad. Let me give you some details, and we will be able to understand that how big sin is hasad and why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam declared this thing as haram. First of all, when someone hates anyone, so he tries to keep himself away from meeting, from greeting, from shaking hands, and he tries to cut off his relation from him. And this thing, cutting your relation with someone, according to hadith of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this hadith is in Sahih Muslim, Kitabul Birri wa Silati wal Adab, and the chapter is Babu Tahrim al-Hajri Fawqa Thalathin Bila Uzrin Shar'iyyin, without any valid reason, cutting off your relation from someone. And these excuses should be, according to Sharia of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not for the worldly things. Abu Ayyub Ansari radiyallahu ta'ala anhu reported this hadith, and he says that the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, La yahillu lil muslimi an yahjura akhahu fawqa thalath layalin. It is not lawful for a Muslim to cut off his relation from his brother more than 3 nights. So if someone, without any valid reason, is cutting off his relationship with any other Muslim more than 3 days and 3 nights, he is going against teachings of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this cutting off relationship with each other, having enmity in the heart, and because of this enmity, because of this grudge, being away from the Muslim brothers, how big sin is it? And what is the harm for a person because of this enmity? There is a hadith in the same book, Kitabul Birri wa Silati wal Adab, Sahih Muslim Sharif, and the chapter is Babu Nahji Anishahna Iwa Tahajur. Hadith number is 2565. Sayyidina Abu Huraira radiyallahu ta'ala anhu reported this hadith. He says that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Tuftahu abwabul jannati yawm al-isnayn wa yawm al-khamis. The doors of Jannah are opened twice a week, on Monday and on Thursday. فَيُغْفَرُ لِكُلِّ عَبْدٍ لَا يُشْرِكُ بِاللَّهِ شَيْئًا. And every person who doesn't associate partner with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Shirk, in very simple words, is believing any creation equal to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in any way. This is shirk. So the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, anyone who doesn't do shirk, who doesn't associate partner with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In other words, you can say that anyone who doesn't believe anyone equal to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in any way, all such people are forgiven. Illa rajulan kanat baynahu wa bayna akhihi shahna'u. Except that person, between him and between his brother, there is enmity, there is grudge, there is hatred. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about these two persons, Anziru hazayni hatta yasaliha. Leave them until they make a reconciliation. So this cutting off relationship with each other, having this enmity in our hearts for our Muslim brothers without any valid reason, this is such a big sin that a person is deprived of forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when other people are forgiven by him. When any person is hasid and he is doing hasad, so he will try his best to cause harm to that person. And he will try his best to do something with which mahsood, or the person from whom he is jealous, that person is suffering from any loss suffering from any problem, suffering from any calamity. This is against teachings of the beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In Sahih Bukhari Sharif, Kitab al-Mazalim wal-Ghasb, our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, and this hadith number is 2442. Abdullah bin Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhuma, he is reporter of this hadith. He said, the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Al-Muslimu akhul Muslim, la yazlimuhu wa la yuslimuhu. A Muslim is brother of the Muslim. He doesn't do zulm upon him. He is never unjust to his brother, and he doesn't hand over his brother to any zalim or hand over his brother to any calamity. وَمَنْ كَانَ فِي حَاجَةِ أَخِيهِ كَانَ اللَّهُ فِي حَاجَتِهِ. Anyone who is trying to fulfill need of his brother, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in his help. وَمَنْ فَرَّجَ عَنْ مُسْلِمٍ قُرْبَةً فَرَّجَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُ قُرْبَةً مِنْ قُرُبَاتِ يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ. And the beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that anyone who brings out of discomfort, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring him out from comforts of the day of judgment. And the last part of this hadith is وَمَنْ سَتَرَ مُسْلِمًا سَتَرَهُ اللَّهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. Anyone who tries to conceal faults, shortcomings of a Muslim, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will conceal his faults on the day of judgment. So we see that if we are doing something good to any other Muslim, this is something appreciated in Islam. Or due to jealousy, if we are trying to cause any harm to any Muslim, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hates it, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never likes it. Because of jealousy, we start backbiting, slandering. We say silly things about that person when we try to damage the reputation of that person. And about backbiting and slandering, our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam warned his ummah in a very effective way. Hadith says in Sahih Muslim, Kitabul Birri wa Silati wal Adab, our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sitting with his companions, and he sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Atadruna mal muflis? Do you know who is muflis? In Arabic, the muflis is a poor person. Qalu al muflisu fina man la dirhama lahu wa la mata'. They said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, according to our view, a muflis is a person who has no money and who has no provision. The beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Innal muflisa min ummati ya'ti yawm al-qiyamah bisalatin wa siyamin wa zakah. Muflis, a poor person of my ummah, is the one who will come on the day of judgment with salah, psalm, and zakah. وَيَأْتِي قَدْ شَاتَمَ هَذَا وَقَذَفَ هَذَا وَأَكَلَ مَالَ هَذَا وَسَفَكَ دَمَ هَذَا وَضَرَبَ هَذَا. He sallallahu alayhi wasallam counted 5 things. He sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, he comes, يَأْتِي قَدْ شَاتَمَ هَذَا. He swore to someone, وَقَذَفَ هَذَا, he slandered, وَأَكَلَ مَالَ هَذَا, he took wealth of someone unlawfully, وَسَفَكَ دَمَ هَذَا, he killed someone, وَضَرَبَ هَذَا, and he hit someone. So if we look at these 5 things which the Holy Prophet ﷺ mentioned here, they belong to 3 fundamental rights of the Muslims: honor, wealth, and life. When we slander, when we swear at someone, we are causing harm to someone's honor. When we are taking wealth of any person unlawfully, we are causing harm to his wealth. when we are killing someone, when we are hitting someone, so we are causing harm to his life. So let me say, in this hadith, the Holy Prophet ﷺ said that that person will come on the day of judgment with Saum, Salah, Zakah, but he has caused harm to someone's honor, someone's wealth, and someone's life. فَيُعْطَى هَذَا مِنْ حَسَنَاتِهِ وَهَذَا مِنْ حَسَنَاتِهِ. So some of his good deeds will be given to one victim, and some of his good deeds will be given to the others. And he sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, فَإِنْ فَنِيَتْ حَسَنَاتُهُ قَبْلَ إِنْ يُقْضَى مَا عَلَيْهِ أُخِذَ مِنْ خَطَايَاهُمْ فَطُرِحَتْ عَلَيْهِ. If his own good deeds will finish and victims are still there, then the beloved Prophet ﷺ said that his sins will be taken, sins of other people will be taken, and they will be given to that person. And a person who came on the day of judgment with a lot of good things and a lot of good deeds will give his own good deeds to others, and other people's bad deeds will be given to him. And finally, the beloved Prophet ﷺ said, "Summa turiha finnar," that person will be thrown into hellfire. Our beloved Prophet ﷺ warned in a hadith, and this hadith is in Sunan Abu Dawood. He ﷺ said, "Innal hasada ya'kulul hasanati kama ta'kulun narul hatab." As the fire eats up the wood, firewood, in the same way, hasad eats up good deeds of a person. So we see in these ahadith of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that only because of one disease, which is in heart of a person, a man is committing a lot of sins. He is deprived of blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because of hasad, and because of this disease, he is earning anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and anger of his Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Now the question is, we look at someone whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed upon with different types of favors, and we feel something in our heart. When we inquire the state of our heart, we feel that there is this disease which is called hasad in it. So how can we get rid of it? What can we do to remove this disease from our heart? The first thing is knowledge. When we will look at all these things which we have read till now in light of a hadith of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, harms of hasad. Because of hasad, we are deprived of our good deeds. Because of hasad, we are earning anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, anger of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wa sallam. So this knowledge will encourage us to get rid of it. Those who believe in Allah and they believe in the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wa sallam, and they fear displeasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and displeasure of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wa sallam, they are always trying to make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala pleased with them and make the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam pleased with them. For them, this knowledge is enough to get rid of this disease, that because of hasad, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala becomes angry and his Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam become angry. For those people, this information is enough. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala becomes angry, his Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam becomes displeased. So I have to uproot this disease from my heart. As for those people who are not mindful of pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and displeasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if they think about harms of hasad, so they will become to know that they were trying to cause some harm to that person from whom they were jealous, but in reality, they are bringing harm not to mahsud, not to that person from him they are jealous, they are causing harm to themselves in this worldly life and in the hereafter. So in the hereafter, I have discussed in detail a hadith of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because of hasad, how we are deprived of our good deeds and how we are earning anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As for this worldly life, any person who is jealous of someone, he is always distressed and sad by looking at favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with that person from whom he is jealous. So if that person sits alone and he tries to think within 24 hours how many hours he is burning in fire of hasad, he is distressed, he has lost his peace of mind only because of this disease. So whenever he hears something about achievements of mahsud, about achievements of that person from whom he is jealous, so always his mind is thinking and he is distressed and he has lost his peace of mind. He wanted to cause harm to that person, but in reality, by burning himself in fire of hasad, he is causing harm to himself. And as for the hereafter, it is very clear he wanted to cause harm to that person about whom he was jealous, but because of jealousy, he, by backbiting, by slandering, he is handing over his good deeds to that person, and he wanted to cause harm to him, but in reality, he is causing harm to himself. So when someone will think on these lines, there will be a very big encouragement in his heart, a very big motivation in his heart that I must try to get rid of this disease, and I try to get rid of this feeling which is burning me in the fire of hasad. So when this feeling is in our heart, so this will be a motivation. And the second thing which we can do to get rid of it is some practices. And practices, yani in our amal, in our practice, what can we do? Finding out the reasons of envy, reasons of hasad, and to get rid of them. When we will try to find out what are the causes, what are the reasons behind this hasad, we will become to know that pride, self-conceit, enmity, love of wealth, love of high status in the society, these are the things. Because of these things, we become jealous of other people. So whenever we feel anything from these things, we will try to go against them. And a practice, it is very, very difficult to do, but this is 100% a remedy, 100% this is a treatment of this disease. That is, a person from whom you are jealous, whenever you remember that person, make a dua for him. You can start from yourself. You can say to yourself, oh Allah, as you have bestowed favors upon that person, bestow the same favors upon me as well. So you can start from yourself and then make a dua, oh Allah, whatever blessings you have bestowed upon that person, let him enjoy. In the beginning, your heart will never be ready to say. But slowly, when your heart is ready to say these words, when your heart is ready to make a dua, slowly, inshallah, there will be a day when you will come out of this disease and there will be no hasad in your heart. At the end, let me narrate one hadith of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in which if any person's heart is free of any enmity, free of any grudge, free of any bad feeling for the other Muslims, his heart is well wishing for the other people. So such a person, his high status in the sight of Allah and his Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This hadith Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal has recorded in his book, which is called Musnad Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal. And the reporter of this hadith is Anas bin Malik radiallahu ta'ala an. And the same hadith with his own sanad, Imam Bayhaqi has recorded in Shu'ab al-Iman. This book, Shu'ab al-Iman, Shu'ab is plural of Shu'ba, which means aspect. In a hadith, the Holy Prophet ﷺ said that Iman has more than 70 aspects. So Imam Bayhaqi prepared a list of 77 different aspects of Islamic teachings. And then about every single aspect, he wrote down a hadith of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, then athar, sayings of Sahaba Kiram and sayings of ulama. So very comprehensive book is about different aspects of Islamic teachings, Shu'ab al-Iman. The story is, Hazrat Anas bin Malik radiallahu ta'ala anhu says, we were sitting with the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, a person will come and that person is from Ahlul Jannah. Yatlu'u alaykum al-rajulu min Ahlil Jannah. Now, one person from people of Jannah will come to you. So Anas bin Malik radiallahu ta'ala says that one Ansari man from Ansar, the drops of wudu, they were falling down, and having his shoes in his left hand, he was coming. We looked at him and we remembered that our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that a person from people of Jannah is coming to you. Next day, Anas bin Malik radiallahu ta'ala anhu says the same thing happened. The Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam again said, Yatlu'u alaykum al-ana rajulun min Ahlil Jannah, and the same person in the same haya he came. Then the third day, the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the same words and the same person came. So 3 days, the beloved Prophet ﷺ gave good news of Jannah, and the same person appeared there. Abdullah bin Amr bin al-As radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, when he heard this saying of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, he decided to find out what this person is doing, what is the special thing with this person. So he made an excuse and he requested to that person to let him live with him for some days. 3 days and 3 nights, Abdullah bin Amr bin al-As radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he stayed with him. And the whole night he tried to find out what is with this person, because of which the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has given good news of Jannah for this person. So Abdullah says that that person, I didn't see anything extraordinary in that person. The only thing which I saw when at night he was lying in his bed, so when he turned his side, he remembered Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. After 3 days, he said to that person that I was with you to see what is something which is special with you, because of which the Holy Prophet ﷺ has given news of Jannah for you, but I didn't see anything. Can you tell me something? So that person said, no, whatever you have seen, this is the something. So Abdullah bin Amr bin al-As radiallahu ta'ala anhu, so when he was about to leave him, that person remembered something and he called him and he said, Ma huwa illa ra'ayt ghayra anni la ajidu fi nafsi li ahadim min al-muslimina ghishan wa la ahsudu ahadan ala khayrin a'tahu Allahu iyyah. He said, the only thing which is in me is that I don't have any ill feeling for anyone, and I am not jealous of any blessing which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed upon someone. So Abdullah said, Hazihi allati balagat bik wahi allati la nutik. This is the thing which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to you, which has reached you, and we don't have this ability. So this hadith of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam shows that if our heart is free of this enmity, free of this grudge, free of ill feeling for other people, so this state of our heart is guarantee of Jannah. With this dua, let me finish today's talk. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to be aware of those things which are very, very harmful for us. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to get rid of them. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to get purification of our hearts. Ameen. Wa akhiru da'wana. And alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.